Guys, this is Gary. It's been a long time since I've made a video, but I've been really busy, so whatever. I wanted to make this video about the Fuji XT10. Now, right off the bat, I love this camera. However, when I'm thinking of making a purchase this expensive, and this isn't a cheap camera, I think I got it for a little less than $900. So I saw many YouTube videos where the reviewers were singing the praises of this camera, and rightly so, because it really does do an amazing job. The image quality is great. High ISO performance is stunning. So I'm not sorry I bought the camera. However, there are several annoying things about this camera that nobody mentioned. So I wanted to make you aware of them in case you were thinking of buying this camera. So, all right, let's get going. Right off the bat, here's the bottom of the camera. And you can see that there's a mounting hole right here, okay? Now, if you look, it's pretty clear that the mounting hole is not on axis to the lens, right? So if you mount this camera on a tripod and you wanted to do some pano shooting, you're not going to be able to rotate the camera and use this mounting hole as your axis point because it's off axis to the lens. All right, I'm going to assume Fuji had some good reason for doing so, but it actually gets worse. So here's the battery door. I'm going to open the, so you can see there's the battery door, and inside is the battery plus the SD card. So there's two important things that reside in that compartment, okay? So I just put a quick release plate on this XT10, and as you can see, it partially covers the battery door, making it impossible to open the battery door, which means I can't change the battery. And I have to say the battery life on this camera is not great. So I have an extra battery if I'm shooting at night, which I do a lot, and I'm using a tripod and my battery gets low, I have to take the camera off the tripod, remove the quick release plate, swap out the battery. Same with the card. This SD card in here, I can't access it with the quick release plate on there. So to me, that's really annoying. I like to keep quick release plates on my camera bodies because it's just a hell of a lot easier using a tripod, which, because I shoot at night a lot, I use a lot. All right, enough about that. Okay, so the next thing. There's actually some pretty cool remote software that comes with this thing because it has Wi-Fi. This camera has built-in Wi-Fi, which is cool, right? So this lens has an aperture ring. So it's a mechanical aperture ring, kind of old school. All right, no big deal. And then the shutter wheel is right up top here. So the controls are very easy to get to, and that's very cool. However, when I want to use the remote software, let's say I wanted to use my iPhone. Here's my iPhone. Let's say I want to use my iPhone to control the camera, which is on a tripod. Say I'm inside and I have a bird feeder outside and I set up the camera on a tripod to shoot the birds. The thing is, and nobody mentioned this kit lens, because it's a mechanical f-stop ring, aperture ring, you can't control the f-stop from the remote software. I could control the shutter speed, so yes, I could change my exposure that way, but I can't control my f-stop. I'd have to actually walk to the camera and turn the ring. So there are some Fuji lenses, I think there's a couple of prime lenses that allow you to actually use this wheel in back. This is a function wheel, and I have to say, many of the videos I watched sing the praises of using this function wheel to change the aperture. Well, you can't with this lens because it's a mechanical aperture once again, okay? You can buy Fuji lenses where the aperture is an electronic aperture control, so it does allow you to not only use this wheel back here, but also use the remote software. Here's another really annoying thing. So if you look on the back of the camera, there's like a controller wheel back here, and then there's this little sort of hump which you rest your thumb on. So basically the weight of the camera is being held by your thumb when you're trying to shoot one-handed. It's almost impossible to hold this camera with your right hand using your thumb to carry the weight of the camera by this little hump in the back without accidentally pushing that rightmost button, which always calls up the flash controls. God, I can't tell you how many shots I've missed because I was trying to shoot one-handed and I accidentally hit that button. I mean, it's just so annoying. Okay, now you can buy grips for this thing. Actually, Fuji makes one and they want $115 for it. And one of the things it does, I have to say, is fix this off-axis mounting hole problem. It moves the mounting hole on axis and also allows you to open the battery cover door, which allows you to change the battery and access the SD card while this grip is on, because it once again moves the mounting hole on axis to the lens. Well, I'm not going to spend $150 for that. Sorry. Now there are some third-party manufacturers that make less expensive grips. I saw one for $49. If I'm not mistaken, I actually saw one for half of that on Amazon. Regardless, the grip doesn't, however, fix this super annoying problem. I thought I would be willing to buy a grip if it would lift my thumb away from that button so I could still hold the weight of the camera with one hand without accidentally pushing that button. But no, the grip doesn't solve that problem. So, very annoying. Okay, and then the last thing, the focus isn't fast enough. You know, I was shooting a wedding and I brought this with me. So during the reception, when, you know, I wasn't in a super critical situation where I had to get the shots, I brought out this camera to see how it would do. And I have to say, after 10 minutes of using it, or I should say trying to use it, I put it away and grabbed my Canon 5D again because the focus isn't fast enough. When you're shooting a wedding, and you wedding shooters know this, you need to get focus like that. You can't wait. You have to get focus immediately, right? Well, this camera is so slow focus-wise that it just wasn't cutting it, you know? So I missed a lot of shots that I really wanted to get during the reception, you know, because of focusing. Now, the thing is, and again, you wedding shooters know this, when you're indoors during the reception, toward the end of the reception, when, you know, everybody's on the dance floor, the room is pretty dark. Now, this camera is great in low light. It really is. So it really bothers me that the focusing system doesn't measure up to its low light performance. The bottom line is, I bought this camera because I wanted a lightweight camera that I could grab and go. This thing is great for, you know, just running around, and it takes beautiful pictures. I have to say the image quality is outstanding. So I'm not sorry I bought the camera. Like I said at the beginning of this video, that's not the issue. If you're thinking of buying this camera, you should know about these things. Now, none of the things I mentioned, or all of them together, still wouldn't have stopped me from buying the camera, but it might stop some of you. I don't know. All right, I'm just going on and on here, so I'm going to stop now. Hope you guys found this useful. See you next time. Bye.